Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So my name is Ashish and today we are going to talk about the very interesting question. Okay, some of my viewer has asked me the one question, sir, what is the exact reason for poor power factor in diode bridge rectifier? So I thought that okay, this is a very basic question, so he may come up with answer. But when I am asked the same question to my colleagues, my friends, what they are not able to answer me. So it is not like that they don't know the basics or not, but I think there is something missing in between the knowledge. Okay, so my friend told me that okay sir, there is a resistive load. Okay, and we know that when we apply some voltage to the resistive load, it will follow the same path as of the voltage. So that is fine, but why the same thing is not happening in the diode bridge rectifier? So what is the exact reason which is causing problem of the poor power factor in the diode bridge rectifier? Okay, so answering to this question, I'm making this video because this is very fundamental video. If your basics are really strong, you exactly know what is the reason. But if you still have the doubt, like okay, because we maybe when I ask you, just try to do the MATLAB simulation and all and just see whether the input current waveform is distorted, having a low power factor or not. Maybe you have simulated and you have observed that maybe the peak kind of nature is there in the current. Okay, so those things may have you observed, but what is the exact reason behind this, that maybe you are still struggling to get the answer. So through this video I am going to explain the answer to your question. So something I have very interesting I have written down here: resistive load is not equal to unity power factor. So that why I have keep this, because this is a myth in everybody's mind that it is like, if it is a resistive load then it has a unity power factor, if it is a inductive load then it has a lagging power factor, if it is a capacitive load then it has a leading power factor. So but is it like that? No, it is not like that. Okay, it is not always true. So what exactly the things which are changed, then only this condition will make a full and all. So that thing we need to understand from this video. Okay, so let's get started with this video. This is very basically short video, but this is really informative video. This will ask you to think in some different direction. Okay, that is ultimate aim of this channel, because I want you to learn the things with really crisp explanation, and you should have the thought process in your mind why exactly these things are happening or not. Okay, that is the ultimate motto we have. Okay, so let's get started with this video and try to understand the actual reason. So here I am in my another window. So we will start with very basic things. Okay, so what we have learned so far. So now, okay, if we have the diode bridge rectifier, then we got some sort of output which we already know. I'm not going into derivation of that where we are interested, and I ask you to simulate, as well as book also said that okay, whenever we are using the diode bridge rectifier, the input voltage and input current are not in basically having a poor power factor. Okay, and my input current has some peaky kind of nature. Why the peaky kind of nature? Can you tell me? Some sort of this waveform you will get. Okay, and maybe if you have simulated this thing, then also you will get the same thing as well. Okay, now very important thing I wanted to comment here: power factor is not only about the phase difference between the input and like voltage and current. So if you have this thing in your mind, okay, so power factor is basically the angle between the voltage and current, then you are completely wrong. Okay, so even if you see here, just carefully observe this waveform, you can see that it, even though it is a peaky nature, but somehow at some particular point it will following the nature of the input voltage. Okay, but still it has a poor power factor. So it is not always about the phase difference. So what are the other factor is there? So this thing you have in your mind. Okay, so inductive lagging power factor, capacitive leading power factor, and resistance is there. It is a power factor as unity. That is only already I have told you. Okay, but whether these things are always true? No, this is not always true. Why I am saying this? Because these things are always true in case of linear circuit. So this is really important point we are commenting here. This particular thing, inductor is a lagging power factor, capacitor is a leading power factor, resistance has a power factor equal to unity. These are applicable only when the circuit is a linear circuit. So let us say I have my AC source and one load is there, directly load is connected. So if this load is a resistive, inductive, capacitive, then this is a linear circuit. and if you simulate this circuit, you will get some sort of behavior, exactly the same behavior. Your input current will be in a phase with the input voltage if it is a resistive load. So when it is a, what kind of circuit it is? Linear circuit. And I hope so you know what is a linear circuit and lot. Now when we have the diode bridge rectifier, it is a non-linear circuit. Why it is non-linear circuit? Because of the presence of the diodes. Okay, and diode is there, and diode has a non-linear characteristics, and because of the non-linear characteristic of the diode, it is a non-linear circuit. Okay, and if the any non-linear circuit is present into the some linear circuit, the overall circuit becomes the non-linear circuit. And because of the diode, because of the non-linearity of the diode, how exactly my power factor get poorer, that we will going to see. Okay, so fundamentally how we will define the power factor? So power factor is a real power divided by the apparent power. So apparent power is nothing but the Vrms into Irms. Now this Irms in case of a linear circuit, so Irms is nothing but the my actual complete current. But if it is a non-linear circuit, my Irms is not the actually completely fundamental thing. So it is kind of power factor. In another word, maybe you have learned this in rectifier in BTech or in inverter. So power factor is a cos pi displacement factor multiplied with I1 RMS divided by R RMS, which is nothing but the distortion factor. So maybe even if your cos phi is equal to the 1, so let's say my voltage and current are in phase with each other, even though my basically this cos phi displacement angle equal to 1, but this might be the happen the case that I1 RMS divided by I RMS, which is a distortion fraction, which is not equals to the 1. How? That we will see below after some time. Okay, so this is a very fundamental definition of power factor. So power factor is a cos phi multiplied with the distortion fraction. So I have just separated out the thing just for you, and you in your mind maybe the thing is like a distortion fraction is always 1, but that is not always the true. Okay, now for pure resistor connected to the AC source, what is happen? V of t is equal to Vm sin omega t, and I of t is directly V of t by R, and that is why you can see that current is a sinusoidal and in phase. Okay, when it is a resistive load. So but what is the difference in the diode bridge rectifier? It is a non-linear circuit. So diode bridge rectifier is not a linear element, right? Because of the diode, even if the load is a resistive, the diode controls when the current to flow. This is very important, right? So here diode will govern when the current to flow and when to not. Okay, because when the diode is on, then only current can flow. It is not the continuous current which is going and flowing through the circuit. Current does not flow continuously. Current depend on the instantaneous voltage, polarity and magnitude. What is the value of my input voltage, what is the diode cut-in voltage, and all these things are coming to the picture, and that's why it will make something in the circuit, and that's why my power factor get poorer. How exactly? Still we have not come to that point. I will just come quickly. So when the current is going to be flow in my circuit, when V in of t is greater than V diode drop. Okay, once I am you know the characteristics of the diode, right? So after some voltage drop only diode will start conducting. So V in of t should be greater than that drop, then only it is going to be conduct. So current in flow in the interval around the peak of the AC voltage. Okay, so that's why maybe if you have low value of the input voltage, then it will be mostly peaky. But if you have very high value of the input voltage, then it has a peaky nature, but maybe that peak should be wider enough. Okay, but what is the other case? So it will never going to be flow around the zero crossing. So because of this, what is happen? The diode clips the current waveform. They act like a voltage control switch and resulting into the pulsating current. Okay, because unless my diode voltage drop is not happen, it will clip that particular portion. Okay, I hope so you have understood so far. So now, so even though we have load is a resistive and no energy storing element is there in present in the circuit, but still we are getting the pulsating output. And why the pulsating output? I hope so you understood so far. So now again few more reasons are there. We will come to those reasons, and we will have some overall understanding about this concept. So next thing is waveform distortion exists purely due to the diode non-linearity. Okay, so we have understood so far that okay, why there is a pulsating nature? Because of diode, and diode will clip that particular portion, and that is why some peaky kind of nature is there. Okay, I hope so. So far so now we have understood, but still we have not addressed the point of basically what is this waveform quality. Okay, so I told you at the initially that even though your cos phi is equal to the 1, your this particular distortion factor is not going to be 1. Why? That we are going to answer now. So why power factor is still poor? Okay, so one thing is basically peaky nature is there, which is acceptable, or which is there, which is not even acceptable, but okay. But what exactly the why the exactly the power factor get poorer? So we have defined the power factor, we have break down the power factor into the cos of phi, into the distortion factor. So let us say ki displacement factor, which is there in the terms of cos of phi, which is a fundamental component of the care. Maybe it is almost in phase with the voltage. Okay, this is my assumption in the diode bridge as well. Okay, so my cos of phi equal to 1, but what will happen? Distortion in power factor will not going to be basically this particular term distortion factor, it is not going to be 1. Why? Because input current may contain the third harmonic, fifth harmonic, seventh harmonic, and when the harmonics are added into the basically my fundamental component, what is going to be happen? My overall RMS current is going to be increased. Okay, and if my overall RMS current is going to be increased, but the real power, is it going to be changed? No, real power is not going to be changed. It is always going to be remain the same. Whatever amount of active power I have, that is going to be always constant. So what is changing here? VRMS into the IRMS. So IRMS component is changing. This particular term is there. This is going to be changing. Why? It has a fundamental component which is important, and at the same time, basically because of this harmonic, and maybe if this harmonic are dominant enough, this is going to increase the my value of overall IRMS. Okay, and because of this P divided by VRMS IRMS initially, which is going to give me 1, now this is not going to give me a 1 because IRMS component is dominant enough, and this is the actual reason that basically power factor get poorer. Another thing is there. So overall what I can say, if somebody asks you in future why the basically in diode bridge power factor get poorer even though the resistive load is there, so you should say that basically diode bridge is not a linear circuit. So even though resistive load is there, the diodes are the non-linear element, and because of the non-linearity of the diode, which will clamp, which is my clamp the my waveform, and because of this pulsating nature are there. Another thing is, when the pulsating nature are there and when we are connecting basically source to the grid, basically third harmonic, fifth harmonic, seventh harmonic are injected into the system, and because of this overall current magnitude may get increased and overall power factor get poorer. So what we can say, in diode bridge rectifier power factor is poor not because of the current is out of phase, but because of the current is highly distorted. Okay, so because of the high distortion in the current, my power factor get poorer. So another thing, you if some another reason is there, that is addition of the DC capacitor makes the power factor even worse. Okay, now we are, after this lecture we are going to learn about the what we are going to learn about the diode bridge rectifier. So diode bridge boost PFC. So in boost PFC you might have seen that after diode bridge we don't put the capacitor. Why? Because if we have the capacitor, we have the capacitor at the output side, but that capacitor is after the power factor correction circuit. Okay, but if we have the capacitor at the basically after diode bridge, though it will again basically make the my power factor worsen. Why? Because capacitor charge only near the peak voltage, peak voltage. Okay, and current becomes narrow, high amplitude and short duration pulses may happen, and this will cause extremely high total harmonic distortion, very high RMS current and poor power factor further. Okay, so this is the ultimate answer you should have right now. Okay, so this is very fundamental question, but maybe sometime fundamental questions are the something which we actually can't answer. At that time we feel that okay, I even don't have the basic understanding of the circuit, so that should not happen. Okay, and this question should come in your mind, and I'm always there to answer to your questions, and I hope so you understood something. Maybe most of you know this concept, but for this video is for those who actually wanted, who has a very basic doubt, and maybe whom to ask they don't know, and they have asked me in the comments, so it's my responsibility to answer them. Okay, So with this I will conclude this lecture. I hope so we have enough understanding about power factor and all everything. Now we can move to the diode with boost PFC, because initially I thought to make this course as a comprehensive and with some basically high level course where we will do the modeling everything in detail. Though we are going to do all those things, but sometime I feel that basically covering fundamental is also really important, because those are the thing which we may forget, and those are the thing will somebody ask you in future. Nobody will ask you very tough concept. Everyone will ask you very fundamental question, and that time we should answer them. Okay, so maybe one more video I will make on basically hybrid electric vehicles and all, because we should have the idea about everything, why this happen and all. Okay, then only we can answer the fundamental question. Learning high level concept is important because we have to do the research and all, but at the same time our basics should be clear. Okay, so with this I will conclude this video. I hope so you understood something, and I will see you in the next class. So thanks for watching.